Welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. NBA free agency is about 24 hours away from opening up, and the news and rumors are already circulating around the New York Knicks, and they are hot. This is why you subscribe to the channel, though, ladies and gentlemen. If this is your first time coming across Knicks Now by Chat Sports, go hit that big red subscribe button. We put out Knicks videos every single day on the latest Knicks news and rumors. We went live for 70 New York Knicks games on the channel this year. So if you love the Knicks and you're looking for a one-stop shop on everything orange and blue, hit that sub button. In today's show, we're going to talk about Josh Hart opting in to his player option, which is going to help the Knicks out in NBA free agency. We also have some contract news around Deuce McBride and some other young Knicks on this roster. Let's start with the bombshell of the day from Adrian Wojnarowski. So it was big news around the Philadelphia 76ers. James Harden opted into the last year of his contract with the Philadelphia 76ers, paying him just under $40 million per year. But it is being reported that the James Harden camp, James Harden and his agents, as well as the front office and decision makers for the Philadelphia 76ers, are working on a trade. Reports are coming out that via Shams that the 76ers do not see a future with James Harden. So we got that tweet first. Like, wow, James Harden's going to get traded. And then Woj tweeted this. He said, the Clippers and the Knicks, the New York Knicks, are a team of interest in trading for James Harden, the former MVP, the former Houston Rocket, the beard. Fear the beard. Do we want this? Do we want James Harden? Do we want Jalen Brunson? And do we want Julius Randle to be the big three in MSG? That's the question of today's show, and I want you to answer it. Do you want the Knicks to trade for James Harden? Type D for trade, type P for pass. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So when you get hit with that YouTube ad break, let me know if you want the beard in NYC. This is incredible. This is wild. This is what the NBA offseason is all about. This is what we live for as NBA fans. Sometimes the offseason is almost more intriguing than the regular season and the postseason. I'll tell you this much. I've had more fun in the NBA offseason so far than I did watching that lousy NBA Finals matchup. It was boring basketball. I don't care what people say. This is entertaining. Woj, literally though, 4 hours ago, I retweeted the tweet. So if you want to go to my Twitter at @MarshallGreen_, you could see it. Before Woj said that the Knicks could be in on trading for James Harden, he went on ESPN radio and said, I think they're going to stand pat. They can look towards next summer. That's when they have all the assets. That's when a trade could become available. He talked about it at the All-Star break as well. But right before Woj said that the Knicks are in on James Harden, he literally said he expects them to stand pat. So maybe something fresh came in. Maybe something new came in. And I also want to let you guys in on this. Let's go back to last summer. Remember last summer when we did Donovan Mitchell videos every single day? Who was reporting for the Knicks and who was reporting for the Jazz? It was Shams Charania reporting for the Jazz, and whenever there was a Knicks update, it was from Woj. Woj is tapped in with Leon Rose and the Knicks. Don't forget about that. I will say this, though, about James Harden. He's not that guy anymore. He's not the guy that won an MVP with the Houston Rockets. He's not the guy that had an MVP stolen away from him by his former Oklahoma City Thunder teammate in Russell Westbrook. He's not the guy that is arguably the best point guard in the NBA anymore. But he's still a solid basketball player. This past year for the 76ers in 58 games played for Philly, the guy gave you 21 points per night, 10.7 assists per night, 6.1 rebounds, and knocked down the three ball at an ungodly number of 38.5% from downtown. But look at the points per game per year. It goes down every single season. But my biggest bugaboo with James Harden is his playoff performance. Since he's been a member of the Philadelphia 76ers, he has been bad in the playoffs, shooting less than 40% from the field and less than 20% from less than 20 points per game. This past year in the Eastern Conference Finals, Eastern Conference semifinals, against the Boston Celtics. In those 7 games, James Harden was not good. He averaged 22 points per game and 42% from the deck. He had a big game where he scored 42 points and 45 points, but overall, he wasn't good, and he hasn't been good in quite some time in the playoffs. But I say all that to say this. It comes down to the price. What is the price point for James Harden? What is Daryl Morey and the Philadelphia 76ers going to want in return for James Harden? The fact that he's on an expiring contract, has no future with the Philadelphia 76ers, I think his price comes down. We all saw what Bradley Beal went for in a trade when he went from Washington to Phoenix, and we said, what the heck was that? We all saw the price of Kristaps Porzingis going from Washington to the Celtics, and we said, what the heck is that? Because of the contract. Porzingis, 1-year expiring deal. Harden in that same boat. 1-year expiring deal. And with Bradley Beal, it's one of the worst contracts in the NBA, and he had a no-trade clause. So if you could get James Harden on a severe discount, I'll listen. But what is it going to take? When you look at the New York Knicks roster right now, think about the players that could be in a deal for Harden. Brunson, not a chance. Maybe Barrett. Maybe Grimes. Maybe Quickly. Maybe Toppin. You got to get up to about almost $40 million in salary cap space, though, to make a move for Harden. You got to match that contract. That's why the Evan Fournier deal of the $18 million in expiring money is so valuable, because it matches that contract and it gives the other team salary cap relief in just 1 year. But if the Knicks traded for Harden, I don't think it would just be a 1-year rental. There's no way the Knicks would trade assets now and going into the future for Harden if he wasn't going to extend on his contract. If the Knicks trade for Harden, if the Clippers trade for Harden, there will be a contract extension. And that worries me. Do I want to pay a lot of money going into the future for James Harden, who is, looking up his age right here just to be sure, James Harden is 33 years old. He'll be 34 years old in August. Do I want to give a multi-year, hundreds of million dollars of guaranteed money to a 34-year-old James Harden who has not been good in the playoffs since he was a member of the Houston Rockets? No, I am not interested. No way, no how do I want to see James Harden dribbling the ball at the top of the key, waiting till there's 5 seconds left in the shot clock to make a move. I have my point guard. I have my face of the franchise in Jalen Brunson. But just to play devil's advocate, I'll say this. Could a Harden and Brunson backcourt work? Absolutely it could work. Luka and Brunson got to the conference finals. And Brunson's better. Harden is not what Luka is, but could the roles reverse? Could Jalen Brunson become the Luka Doncic of the Knicks like he was for the Mavs? And could James Harden become the Jalen Brunson of the Knicks like he was for the Mavs? Would not be the worst trade in the world, but I wouldn't do it. I would look elsewhere. I do know this, though, ladies and gentlemen. If more news and rumors come out about Harden, the New York Knicks, or anything surrounding the NBA, we're going to keep you guys in the loop. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Knicks videos every single day. We're going to be live on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for NBA free agency, and we are right on the cusp of getting to 26,000 subs on the channel. You love the Knicks. You want free Knicks content every day. You want to hang out with the best damn fans in the world? Subscribe. YouTube.com/KnicksTV. All righty, now that all the rumors are out of the way, let's get to the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about the news that's surrounding New York. Big news for Josh Hart and the Knicks. According to WOJ, right at that 5 p.m. Eastern deadline, Knicks guard Josh Hart has exercised his $12.9 million option for 2023 and 2024. So he is under contract for 1 more year. He had that player option. He could have opted out and got a long-term deal from the Knicks. Why would he opt in? A couple of reasons. The Knicks now have the full rights to the non-taxpayer mid-level exception without dipping their toe in the luxury tax. Also, once the Knicks extend Josh Hart in August, he's going to be eligible for a 4-year, $81 million deal. So $81 million plus $13 million, that's $94 million. Josh Hart's going to get $94 million over the next 5 years. But an underlining detail that I don't see anyone talking about, when you are extended, you can't be traded for X amount of months. And if you extend in August, you can't be traded until late January, which pretty much gives Josh Hart a 1-year no trade clause. Technically, it's not a no trade clause, but at the end of the day, they can't trade him until the trade deadline is right in front of the New York Knicks' face. And as a guy that was drafted by the Lakers, traded to the Pelicans, and then traded from the Pelicans to the Blazers, and then traded from the Blazers to the Knicks, maybe he doesn't want to get traded again. Maybe he wants a home. And he said that. He said this next team he's looking for a home. And this amount of money, that ain't no chump change. Josh Hart's going to get his money. But the main reason he did it, the main reason he opted in, is so the Knicks had the full rights to that non-taxpayer mid-level exception. And he did it for his college teammate, Dante DiVincenzo, the big ragu. He's going to be a Knick. I think he is. I already think it might be a done deal. You're getting one of your best friends, your college teammates, to join you in Madison Square Garden with New York across your chest in orange font and blue outline. I think it's done. I think Dante DiVincenzo will sign with the New York Knicks on the first day of NBA free agency, and it's because of Big Bro. It's because of number 3. It's because of Josh Hart. How can you not love Josh Hart? The man took a discount. He's thinking of the team. He's thinking of ownership, and he's doing everything he can to make the New York Knicks better. I freaking love Josh Hart, man. I freaking do. Type those 3s in the comment section. Show our guy Josh Hart some love. Talking about DiVincenzo, though, why would the Knicks be interested? They need another guard, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in length coming up in a second. But the main reason they want him, he's a good basketball player. He's efficient, and he was with the Warriors, 39.7% from downtown. The only 2 people on the Warriors that shot better from deep than DiVincenzo, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. The dude is lightning from 3. He can also play defense. The defensive rating for the Golden State Warriors, better when DiVincenzo was on the court. When DiVincenzo started, the Warriors were 15-10 in those 25 games. He's a good basketball player, and he's going to help the Knicks improve on the margins, just like Josh Hart. Rebounding, defense, winning plays, shot making, assisting, playmaking, getting to the rack, the little things. That's what DiVincenzo is going to do. But people are going to say, Marshall, why do we need another 6'4" undersized guard? How many guards do the Knicks actually have on this roster? Jalen Brunson, he's a guard. Emmanuel Quickley, he's a guard. And although Quentin Grimes plays guard, he's a wing. And although you want RJ Barrett to be a guard, he is a wing. And although you want to lump Josh Hart into being a guard so you can push your agenda that the Knicks don't need another guard, Josh Hart is a wing. The Knicks have 2 guards, Jalen Brunson and Emmanuel Quickley. And Quickley got hurt, and the Knicks had 1 guard. Game 5 versus the Heat, Jalen Brunson had to play 48 minutes. Game 6 versus the Heat, Jalen Brunson sat out for 4 minutes and the Miami Heat went on a 9-point swing. You need another guard. And albeit DiVincenzo is not technically a point guard that can create, isolate, and make moves, he is someone that's going to help this team and depthen out this rotation. If it's not DiVincenzo, though, some other players that the Knicks could look to sign for the mid-level exception, we've heard a lot of buzz around Bruce Brown. A lot of buzz around Bruce Brown. Ian Begley said that if the Knicks don't go out and sign Dante DiVincenzo, Bruce Brown is going to be priority number 1. I also like Karis LeVert as well, who is more of a wing than a guard. He's 6'7", 6'8". He lit up the Knicks a couple times in that first-round matchup against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I wouldn't hate it. I also don't hate George Niang, who is a 40% shooter from deep. Not going to cost you the full mid-level exception. Or if you want to go the CAA route and sign one of the best three-pointers in the NBA, you could go with Seth Curry. Those are top 5 guys I think the Knicks could be looking at in this mid-level exception market. Let's close the show, though. Oh, actually, we got more news to get to. We got way more news to get to. That's why you subscribe to the channel. Pick one of these to sign. Pick one of them to sign. Is it DiVincenzo? Is it Bruce Brown? Who would you rather see the Knicks sign? Both these players have been heavily linked to the Knicks over the past couple of days. Type their initials, DD or BB, down below. And remember, with free agency less than 24 hours away, you guys need to lock in your coverage with us here on New York Knicks Now. We're going to be live for Friday, Saturday, maybe even Sunday on the channel, breaking down all the moves that are going down across the association and specifically with the New York Knicks. So subscribe, turn your notifications on, and come hang out with us tomorrow on the channel. We do have some more roster news surrounding the New York Knicks. Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype said this earlier. He said, the New York Knicks are extending a qualifying offer to two-way guard Duane Washington, which will make him a restricted free agent, which means if Washington goes and signs with another team, the Knicks will have a couple of days to match that offer sheet. Washington was the guy that the Knicks signed in the later half of the season, and like Scotto said, Washington averaged 9 points in 2 NBA seasons with the Pacers and the Suns. He played a lot for the Westchester Knicks last year. Fred Katz also reporting that the Knicks have extended a qualifying offer for Trevor Keels, the second-round pick out of Duke last year. Keels, like Washington, will be a restricted free agent this summer. He was on a two-way deal with the Knicks this past season. The biggest news that we're going to talk about right now is Miles McBride. Shout out to Deuce. Katz of The Athletic does a hell of a job. Thank you, Fred. He says the Knicks have officially exercised a $1.8 million team option on Miles McBride for the upcoming season. So McBride and Josh Hart are going to be back with the New York Knicks this upcoming season. Begley reported last week that teams have been in contact with the Knicks about trading for Miles McBride. The NBA offseason is just getting rolling, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of stuff talked about in today's video. It was a longer video, and I appreciate you if you stayed with us this whole time. So prove that you're a real one. If you made it this far in today's show, I want you to type real one down below. So when I go back and skim through the comments, I'll know who's the real one.